Welcome to the final video in our OpenClaw series. Today, we're building a custom skill from scratch. We'll create a simple weather skill that lets you ask OpenClaw about the weather in any city. Let's dive in. Let's start by understanding the anatomy of a skill. Every OpenClaw skill has the same basic structure. First, a manifest file called skill.json. This tells OpenClaw the skill's name, version, what it does, and what permissions it needs. Second, a main handler file, usually index.js or main.py. This is the code that runs when the skill is triggered. Third, optional test files to make sure everything works. That's it. 3 parts: manifest, handler, and tests. Let's create our weather skill. First, the manifest. We set the name to myWeatherSkill, version 1.0, and a description of what it does. The triggers array tells OpenClaw what kinds of messages should activate this skill. We add weather, forecast, and temperature as trigger words. The permissions section says our skill needs internet access to call the weather API. That's the whole manifest. Now the handler. This is the actual code that runs. Our index.js exports a handle function. It receives the user's message and context from OpenClaw. We extract the city name from the message, call the OpenWeatherMap API to get the current weather, and return a friendly formatted response. The response includes the temperature, conditions, and a humidity reading. Notice how simple this is. Most of the work is just calling an API and formatting the result. OpenClaw handles everything else, understanding the user's intent, routing to your skill, and delivering the response. Let's test our skill before publishing. OpenClaw has a built-in test runner. Run OpenClaw skill test and it will simulate messages and check your skill's responses. We can also test interactively by running OpenClaw skill dev. This starts a local development server where you can chat with your skill and see debug output in real time. Once your tests pass and you're happy with the results, it's ready to publish. Ready to share your skill with the world? Run OpenClaw skill publish. This uploads your skill to ClawHub where anyone can find and install it. You'll need a ClawHub account, which is free to create. Your skill gets a page with a description, installation command, ratings, and download stats. Remember to add a clear description and choose the right category so people can find your skill easily. Before we wrap up, some important tips about privacy and security. Never hardcode API keys in your skill code. Use environment variables instead. Always request the minimum permissions your skill needs. If you only need to read data, don't ask for write access. Add rate limiting to prevent your skill from making too many API calls. And always validate user input before passing it to external services. These are simple practices that make your skill safe and trustworthy. And that wraps up our OpenClaw series. You've learned what OpenClaw is, how to install it, 5 things it can do, how to install skills from ClawHub, and how to build your own skill from scratch. You're now ready to make OpenClaw truly yours. If you enjoyed this series, subscribe to Ep.5 for more beginner-friendly AI tutorials. See you in the next series.